go back to 2019 when I had a Washington Mystics team where there's so many weapons on this team. That's what really excites me. I feel like the last probably 4 or 5 years of my career, I just wanted to be a part of a winning culture where basketball was the main thing, and you had everybody kind of understand that that was the purpose, the intention, and the goal of the summer. Egos don't get into the way. We're just really focused on taking it one day at a time and winning each day. And even just being in here this morning to have that winning culture, that winning mentality, the intentionality of practice, like, it's probably one of the best first practices I've had in a while. So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to add to what is already an amazing organization and team. And so for me, it's just acclimating, but making sure I'm still being Tosh within the system that is me.
What does Tosh bring to this team?
I fucking dog, bro. I'm like salivating at the mouth. I can't wait to get ready. I know that I bring an energy and a tenacity that they already had here, but I intensify it. So I'm going to get into people on the defensive end. I'm going to push pace. I'm going to make sure I get our franchise player shots and just be that exciting factor of it. I think that sometimes in a professional setting we can forget that this is the game we fell in love with as kids. So I try to bring that kid-like love and passion to the game every single day. So you're always going to hear me before you see me, but that's just my job. Like today, you're going to hear me come and talk about, the day one. I'm excited.
You talked at Unrivaled about wanting to recruit Satu.
Yeah.
Kind of what were your feelings on the way that you were traded, and then obviously now with the Liberty, just what feelings on the offseason and overall?
Yeah, I mean, going back to an Unrivaled season where you anticipate what your future looks like to be something different, what you were promised wasn't fulfilled, but within that, you know that God is moving you for whatever reason. Sometimes we don't have an understanding of why it is, but our job is to trust in His process and His journey for our life and our careers, and that's what I did. So staying patient the month was really hard for me. Patience is not necessarily my virtue, but that's something I've been trying to tap into in the off season. I would be crazy not to thank Connecticut. Jen Rosati and Morgan Tuck were great and amazing from the time that the trade happened. I think we have two people that have been in this basketball realm and that understand that business can sometimes fucking suck, and that doesn't always benefit us as players. And then for JK to fight for me for a month, this organization to fight for me for over a month, to be wanted, that is the most amazing feeling. To be in the position to where I know at 33 and what I still feel like I have left to give this game, that is going to be best used here in New York, and to be a part of an organization that has broken barriers, has pushed us so far as a league, as other teams. I think some people forget, while there's a lot of big other teams, New York really started this talks of let's progress us forward, let's invest, let's make sure that our players have everything that they need. And so when you're talking about, I just come and get to be a basketball player and get to be Tosh, I'm so thankful for where God allowed my journey to go, and I'm really thankful for this organization for coming and saving me in a lot of senses.
Tosh, with you on board, this team now has a combined 15 all-defensive selections. As someone that prides themselves as being one of the league's better two-way guards, how does that feel to be a part of taking this team up?
Today was like, I caught myself over-helping so much because that has been my tendency with the teams that I've been on in the past. I've had to be kind of 2-3 places at once, and I don't have to do that here. And it is the biggest sigh of relief, but it is an adjustment for me too, to like, oh no, my team, like, for real, I got defense behind me even if I get beat. JJ gonna be there, Stewie gonna be there, Jalen's gonna be in my gap, Sav's gonna be there, so I'm just really excited to play with the defense again, where every person is on a string, and everybody is there for one another if I fuck up or something, you know what I mean?
When you think about the intentionality that you mentioned at the top, like, what are some of the specific things you feel like you've observed, even small little things?
Even, so I got here 2 weeks earlier just because it was important for me to get in here, get adjusted, get acclimated, meet everybody. As a point guard, it's my job to deposit in, so when it comes time, I can draw from everybody here. And I learned right away, like, this ship is running by a regimented schedule. Everything is very intentional. You have lift, you have training, you have court work, you have recovery. And being in that championship mentality again, it's almost refreshing. There's not a lot of lackadaisical, there's no complacency. Like, they understand that they won last year, but they understand now that the pressure is a privilege to do it again. And all eyes are looking forward of how to do that. So that's been like the intentionality of it. Even coming in today, getting our offenses in, our sets, understanding third, second, first gear, understanding defensive schemes. It's just everything's intentional with the time that we're playing.
I remember we were at the playoff game here, saying everything proper defensively. The fans gave you a nice ovation.
Yeah.
I remember you saying it was something special.
I cried like a baby walking off the court.
Did you ever think you might be playing for this team at some point down the road?
Truly, most people don't know. My first contract that I went back to sign, my 4th year in DC, I signed a contract here to New York that DC matched.
I know that transaction.
And last year I was talking about coming here, but with the DC thing, I just felt like I was really pushing me outside my nest, so I wanted to challenge myself, and going West Coast and away from my family was the biggest challenge. And then when it came time to the trade, my first thing calling to my agent was, I want to go to New York. I don't know how you're going to do it, I don't know how it's going to work, but I want to be in New York, and that's what happened. So I always saw it in my kind of rear view, side view, front view, whatever you want to call it, but I just felt like God's timing for when it happened was perfect, and I'm intended to be here now.
Just to follow up, you were not vocal in the media or on social media that you wanted to trade for
Yeah.
other players. I'm not saying just Connecticut. I don't
Yes.
want to be on someone else. Is that just your personality in some ways that you're not going to go out there and everything in this trade publicly? I know you want to be there versus your agent work behind the scenes getting.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like there's a way to be professional while still advocating for yourself, and I feel like that's something that through my first few years I might have not done in the best way, and that's me being accountable for how I was as a younger player. I was very much like, we don't like bad publicity, put it out there, maybe they'll move, but once you get older, you start maturing. I've leaned into my water a lot more. Just understanding it was a shitty situation for everybody. Connecticut's also in a really tough situation. I think they are an amazing team that has a great future ahead of them with Morgan as ahead of it. But right now they're in a really tough situation. So I understood all of that. I understood that everyone was going to try to get the best out of it, out of the situation that they were. And my job was to just let the people trust them, right? Put my trust into Morgan and Jen and to JK and into God, and understanding that I was going to be where I was supposed to be at the end of the day, whether it was Connecticut or here. But I thank you, God. I'm good. I thank you.
I know.
You have familiarity with Sabrina, both playing against her and obviously playing with her at Arrival. Just what do you guys think about your back and forth tandem that you guys will have this season, and how do you think you guys will complement each other or play off each other?
I love Sav. I think at Arrival, it was like, I'm your worst enemy on the opposing team every single night, so you probably think I'm an asshole. But I actually really love and respect you. It's why I have to be the asshole on the court. But we instantly kind of connected at Arrival, and when these talks came, I felt very comfortable with playing with her at Arrival. I think that I helped Sav a lot. She's great with the ball in her hands, but she's also really great with the ball out of her hands, and I get to take a little bit of pressure off of her to get her off the ball, to get her screens, to make plays for her, to engage to and find her. And, you know, on the defensive end too, I think Sav, people don't talk about it, she's grown a lot since her rookie season. So now you're seeing her stay in front of 2 dribbles. So I just want to continue to help Sav grow too. She's one of the greatest players in our league, but with that, I have a chance to make a lot of franchise players really great, and that's the exciting part for me as a point guard, is playing alongside all these players.
Natasha,
Curious how the concept of patience is going to be something you really keep in mind. You talked about being patient when it came to the off season, but when it comes to figuring this out, I mean, you played
Grace
with
and patience, that's what I got in my hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of said it over there too. There was times today where I was playing too fast, or I read one of my teammates wrong, and that's where that grace and patience comes in, understanding that I've only been here 2 weeks. Training camp is really short, and this is like, we're hitting the ground running, but to still allow grace and patience within that, I'm still learning a new system, a new team, and that's for everyone, not just myself as a newbie. That's also the returners learning new players as well. So while our identity remains the same, we're still learning what this new group looks like, and that's the exciting part about it too.